Steelers fans, what's happening? Coach Kevin Smith back with you to do another edition of Steelers Playbook. We broke this out last week when we featured the outside zone play, which is one of Arthur Smith's favorite concepts. Going to feature another one of his favorite concepts right now, the duo play. We'll play it in every NFL playbook. Smith ran it in Atlanta. The Steelers ran it pretty well last season. Before we get into that, though, if you get a chance, please follow me on Twitter at Coach's Call Sheet or at KT Smith FFSN. Got a lot of stuff up this week, new stuff looking at the Steelers and whether or not they're going to break out a diamond formation with Justin Fields at quarterback. A lot going on over there on Twitter. So if you get a chance, give me a follow on that. All right, duo. All right, let's get into the concept with a quick breakdown before we go to the video. All right, so the duo play is kind of, sometimes you hear coaches refer to it as an attitude play. It's an attitude play because it's a smash mouth run play. Sometimes it's referred to as power without the pullers because everybody's gapping back. It's just that there's no pulling guard to wrap around to the backer and no second back to kick out the edge. You do that, you get to that by running it from some sort of unbalanced or overloaded formation. And why we call it an attitude play is because everybody's blocking on duo. The wide receivers have to be able to block. So if you look at the formation that's drawn up right here, this is what's often referred to as tray. It's a wing set with a wide receiver to the strong side. So it's a 3-by-1, unbalances the defense. And in a set like this, you're going to get an extra blocker here by bringing that wide receiver, that Z receiver, which is, if you look at the ghostly apparition of me there down in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the Z receiver. And what teams will do is they'll motion that guy down. They'll bring him down to be an extra blocker in the box. And now everybody's going to gap back on this play, right? So I'll ignore the Z for a second, but realize, yeah, he's coming down to create a fifth blocker to the front side. And then you're just working combo blocks. People love duo because there's a lot of double teams. So the H and the tight end here are going to double to the Sam backer. The tackle and the guard are going to double to the Mike backer. The center and the backside guard are going to double to the Will. The backside tackle will handle the N one-on-one. Now, with that Z receiver who motioned down, his rule is always to block number 2. And what does number 2 mean? We're counting in defenders from the sideline. So the corner is 1, and here it's the strong safety who's 2. The Z climbs up and blocks him. That corner is going to be left unblocked. We'll talk about why in a second. Running back, right? He's on an aiming point downhill for the B gap. Aiming points vary. Different coaches will say, hey, outside leg of the guard, inside leg of the tackle. Really, they're trying to jam that thing in the B gap. And you're really looking to focus on that double and read the Mike backer. Some teams will have you read the Sam, but you're going to read the movement of a play side linebacker. And if that play side linebacker jams the gap, we're going to bounce this thing wide. And that's going to put you one-on-one against that corner. The reason why a lot of NFL teams don't block the corner is because essentially they're saying, let's make that corner come tackle our running back. And we'll see some clips in a second here that show running backs win that battle a lot of the time. So again, duo, everybody up front gapping down, everybody blocking a power concept, and the receiver or an extra lineman, whomever, you're getting that extra guy into the box to block number 2. Running back's trying to jam it up into the B gap, and if it's not there, he's going to bounce it wide. He's going to go one-on-one with the corner. All right, pulling these clips from the Steelers game against Seattle last year. One thing about this game, Pittsburgh ran for almost 200 yards and had a great day running the ball with the duo play. Jaylen Warren would score on it. We're gonna show that in a minute. This is the first play of the game. They're in almost the same exact set I just had drawn up. This is 3-by-1 to the bottom of your screen. Only difference is they've got an attached tight end to the other side. Allen Robinson, the wide receiver here, he's going to motion down, and then he's going to come back to block number 2. And everybody else then is going to work their gap schemes, right? So you're going to see the 2 tight ends here, gap those 2, right? We're going to see our tackle and our guard work against those 2. And now you got some one-on-one blocks on the backside, and Robinson's going to climb to block the safety. He is number 2, and that corner right there is going to be left unblocked. And Najee Harris, the back here, is going to really kind of just jam this thing up inside. And the Steelers are going to make 4 yards on their first play of the game. Attitude play. Everybody's blocking. Everybody's getting off the ball. You're fighting. You're pushing. It's a big scrum, right? It's a physical run play, and the Steelers love to start games with a physical mindset. Here's the end zone view of the play. You're going to see Robinson come into the picture here and then work back out to block the edge, right? You can see everybody get off the ball there. We're going to get picky here, right? Let's focus on Darnell Washington, number 80, the tight end to the left of the screen right here. We watch Washington on his block as he scoops up inside. If I'm a coach in the film room, I'm going to say to Darnell, hey, man, let's get our pads down. Let's keep our legs driving. Let's pound our feet. Pound, 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 pound. See my feet go dead there? His feet go dead. You want to keep him working through contact. Same thing for Pat Freiermuth right next to him, right? As he gets driven back a little bit, it's because his pads are a little too high and the feet got to get going a little bit more. Najee Harris here, you're going to see his path as he's going to run this thing headed up towards the B gap. When he does so, right, he's aggressive. It's the first play of the game, so he's really trying to get off the football, right, and get up into the line and push the pile. But if he's a little more patient here, he might be able to spring this thing wide, right? If we look at the cuts, see how aggressively he's just decided right now, I'm jamming this thing up into the B gap. But you'll see as I go back real quick, if he's a little more patient and has a little bit more vision, he might be able to spring this thing out here. He might be able to wind it back this way. It's a little bit like zone in the sense that you don't have a prescribed aiming point or a prescribed hole. You're aiming for a spot, but then it's up to you to find the opening. And maybe Najee, a little more patient, could spring it out that little side door to his left there. But all in all, for an opening play, you make 4 yards, you're in good shape. All right, it's a good start to the game for the Steelers. All right, here we are from a different formation now. On this one, the Steelers have bunch to the top of the screen, 3-by-1 bunch. They're going to motion out of it. You're going to see Deontay Johnson here motion all the way across. I think there's an RPO attached to this. At the end of this motion, Johnson will kind of bubble back a little bit. And really what the Steelers are doing, they're looking to see if Seattle slides with them. The Seahawks do. You're going to see them move everybody in this direction with Johnson. And that's going to eliminate Mason Rudolph throwing that little bubble out there to Johnson. But I think if Seattle didn't move here, then the Steelers had an RPO option to throw this thing out there to Johnson. But Seattle moves, and so now you just get the traditional duo look, and everybody, there's Robinson here, he's going to take care of number 2, and then you're going to get all your combo blocks working back in this direction. Jaylen Warren's going to hit it at the right B gap, and what you're going to see on this play is Seattle's going to do a nice job of stepping up and taking that away, and Warren's going to bounce this thing outside where he's going to go one-on-one with that corner, and watch how this works out for the corner. Here comes your motion. You see the adjustment slide. There's your bounce. Whoop. All right, make a miss. Little stiff arm. Jaylen Warren picks up a first down, man. He is an explosive and exciting runner. This is a great concept for Jaylen Warren because he's got good vision, good quickness, great strength, good burst. I love Jaylen Warren in this scheme. All right, here we go. End zone view. Watch the communication from the guys up front on this play. You'll see as I start the play, everybody on the front side start leaning into each other, talking, communicating. They're talking about the combos here. Who's working with who's got solo blocks, who's got combo blocks, which defenders are being comboed to. Great communication on this play. Again, not trying to pick on the rookie Darnell Washington here. He's going to wind up with a solo block right there. And again, he's just a little high. He's a big dude. He's 6'7". But you'd love to see him get his pads down a little bit. That should be a point of emphasis for him in his second season. Steelers really like him as a blocker. Just got to get a little better with his craft. You watch it here. Here comes the motion, communication, handoff. And this is why you leave the corner unblocked, because you're going to take the matchup of Jaylen Warren against that corner every day of the week. You're going to bet that Warren can make that guy miss, which obviously he does right here for a nice gain for the Steelers. All right, here's one more. This is a thing of beauty. This is a 19-yard touchdown run by Warren. You can see the Steelers in an unbalanced set to the left. They've actually got 3 tight ends on the field right here. You see 3 tight ends. in the game for Pittsburgh. The duo play, they're all, again, everybody's going to gap back to their right. Warren's going to hit it downhill here. Now, Seattle, they see the unbalanced set. They've probably seen duo now 4 or 5 times, and they're starting to adjust to it. So what they're going to do is they're going to take their walked up nickel player and put him on what's called a spill technique. He's going to come down super hard. He's basically going to crash down through the C gap and try to wash everything down and now force Warren to bounce outside to this unblocked defender. But Warren, man, you talk about this guy's got vision, man. He's going to see this, and rather than bounce into the unblocked defender, he's just quick enough to be able to, on the fly, work this thing back the other way. Look at that. See that little jump cut, and then a second jump cut, and now he's out the gate for a touchdown. This is beautiful. When you watch this cut right here, right, that cut is beautiful because, if I'll back it up real quick and do it again, right? When you see, what Seattle's doing, there's really smart right here. They've crashed this thing all the way down, right there. That's Hayward. He was the edge. He was on the edge of the formation, and they've crashed the edge all the way down into the B gap. And the natural inclination on this play, what you're taught is bang it or bounce it, which means bang it up in here, and if you can't, bounce it out wide. Well, the Steelers don't want to bounce this thing out wide right here because you've got 2 Seattle defenders waiting on Warren. But Warren's vision and his quickness is good enough that rather than go this way, instead he works back here, and then he's able to just kind of make guys miss. This is old friend Devin Bush here, kind of makes him look silly as he gets into the end zone. So, I think this is a phenomenal scheme for Warren to be able to run, and something that you'll see the Steelers run a lot of in Arthur Smith's offense. So that's the duo play. That's one of the favorites of both the Steelers and Arthur Smith. You're going to see a lot of it this coming year. And that's our second installment of our Steelers playbook segments, right? So we'll be back with another one. We're going to look at the difference between inside and outside zone. We're going to get into the Steelers passing game, and then we're going to flip it over and start looking at some of their blitzes and coverages. All right, this is Kevin Smith for the Call Sheet Breakdowns. Thanks, everybody. Take care.